Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Waymakers, the podcast that talks about women who are forging their own way in this world. Hello everyone. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Waymakers, as I figure out what the hell I'm doing and what we're talking about. But I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Gayathry and I am an accountant by trade and a business coach. One big bit of news that's happened this week is that Barbados has officially renounced the Queen. But actually what I think is really exciting is the fact that they have chosen a woman as their first ever president. Her name is Dame Sandra Mason, and she was voted in, I believe, a few weeks ago. She is now officially their new head of state instead of the Queen, which I think is amazing, really exciting. I'm not a royalist, as you can definitely tell off the bat. Now that we've got all the super fun facts out of the way, I wanted to welcome you all to this podcast and explain what it is that I am trying to do and what you can expect in the episodes coming up. I wanted to create a platform where we celebrate women in all their forms, but also as a way to talk about obviously women who are doing amazing things, but also the women in our everyday lives who are also doing amazing things but probably won't be on the front page of a newspaper. I had a conversation recently with a friend and we were talking a lot about the women in our lives who inspire us and support us on a daily basis, but also the fact that we also don't know who is watching us. I'm quite fortunate to have friends who have done really well in their careers respectively, and because it's not often that we see people who look like us in the spaces that we are starting to take up, and so it's really important that we realise that we could also be an inspiration to people who are starting out in their careers but also at uni and thinking about what they want to do with their lives and opening up their eyes as to what careers there are, what kind of lives that they could have, and not just a traditional doctor, lawyer, accountant from the accountant. Because having worked in media, if I knew then what I knew now, my career path and the job that I would probably do would look so different. As I mentioned, I'm an accountant by trade. I've worked in all kinds of spaces, media, corporate, I worked in music. And the one thing they all seem to have in common is that most senior positions are filled by middle-aged white men. And as much as this world is moving forward, there's still loads of work to do. And I think transparency is a huge thing. Sharing information and experiences and knowing that there's actually a million ways to skin a cat, as it were, and so many different types of jobs and careers out there, and really just opening our eyes. Another reason that I wanted to do this podcast is because I hear so many times about women actually preventing other women from succeeding or moving forward in their like careers. And I think that's really strange because it's the complete opposite that I've experienced. I've worked in teams where it's only women and they've been the best experiences of my career. And I would love to share that side of womanhood because it was beautiful and it's amazing. And so as part of that, I will be speaking to the women in my life who I think are amazing, kicking down doors and forging their own paths. I will also be taking in your career-related dilemmas. So if you have a question about your job or career or just a general gripe that you want to share and we can talk about, I'll happily share my unfiltered opinion. You can send in your comments and dilemmas to gayathry.nbg@gmail.com. I'll include that in the description below. So on that note, I will bid you adieu and thank you for listening to this introduction, a taster of what's to come.